Hello, welcome to the Garden Gurus. I'm Trevor Cochran. What a summer we've had. The damage that's been done in the garden and the growth at the same time has been quite remarkable, and all over the country we're facing different challenges. And the good news is we're back with a brand new series of the Garden Gurus designed to help you get your garden, well, recovering from that hot summer, and at the same time to get your garden ready for the autumn. We're in the change of the season. Now's the time to act. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Establishing a garden under the canopy of an advanced tree can be really tough. So we look at what plants thrive in shaded areas. Bugs, bugs, bugs. Believe it or not, these guys are what we want in our garden. And we show you how to build a privacy screen around your outdoor shower.
Dig, 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 digging around. Dig, 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 digging the ground. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go.
Good soil is everything in a garden, playing a vital role in plant health and vigour, especially when you're growing fruit and veggies like they are here at the Newport Community Garden in Sydney. And my timing is perfect because they're about to plant out a new bed, so I'm going to help them out with some soil improvements. These raised veggie beds have been here for about 5 years, and the soil was originally imported from a local landscape supplier, and then over time, to keep up the nutrient level, compost has been added that they make here at the community garden. But one thing with that is that as the organic matter breaks down, it leaves a waxy coating on the sand particles that can become hydrophobic, i.e. repel water. But there is a more permanent solution. Soilsolver is a genius invention from the sandy plains of Perth, where they've been battling sandy soil issues for millions of years. Soilsolver contains kaolin clay, silt, and a unique balance of natural minerals, and these uniformly bind to the sand particles, creating a permanent, beautiful loam and the ideal soil. You need to mix in about 10 to 15 kilos per square metre for best results, and you do it in 2 stages. Put half of the Soilsolver on the soil first, cultivate and water in, and then the second half and repeat. For native gardens, you need less, around 7.5 kilograms per square metre. For larger areas, use a cultivator, rotary hoe or tiller. What's being created here, folks, is a permanent loam soil with a once-only application. Just have a look at the difference between the old soil and what we've got now. It really is a beautiful thing. And the other big winner here is the environment, because you use less fertiliser, which can leach into the waterways. Now you can use the Soilsolver on all your garden beds and your lawn soil preparation, resulting in less watering, less fertilising, better plants and lawn. It really is the go, folks, so get stuck in. Soilsolver is available in WA, Victoria, South Australia and at Flower Power in Sydney.
If you've got roses in your garden and you're wanting them to flower throughout the autumn, all you have to do is prune off these spent flowers, and what that will encourage is a whole bunch more buds to form. And for more gardening inspiration, stay tuned here on the Garden Gurus.
There is something special about a garden that has established trees. There's so much to love. Textures of the trunk, sense of calm, foliage patterns and colours, and the temperature drop on a hot day compared to being out in the blazing sun. My philosophy is you can never have too many trees in a garden. A balance of both evergreen and deciduous gives you the best of both worlds. The downside of establishing a garden underneath a canopy of large trees is the root competition. It's definitely a case of taking the good with the bad, but in this situation, the benefits far outweigh the negatives. Now, most trees have a root system that skims the surface looking for moisture and nutrients, and even deep-rooted trees have got a root system that's about 30 centimetres deep. So my tip is to select those varieties of plants that love dry area shade. Clivias are my go-to for dry area shade. Not a lot fusses them. They cope with root competition well, and the contrast of dark green foliage with orange or yellow flowers, followed by red or orange berries, adds so much interest for many months of the year. Bulbs are the perfect choice for shade. We've got a couple of advanced almond trees, and these garden beds are covered with naturalising cyclamens. They are the ideal choice. They're just under the soil surface and they're kept cool through the summer with a canopy of shade, but as soon as the weather cools down, they shoot away again and it'll be masses of colour for months on end. Now, the magic plant for dry area shade is Royina. It's fantastic because you put in the ground when this garden is in full sun, and as the trees grow, suddenly the area's in shade. Well, this keeps growing beautifully. You can trim it as a hedge to 1 metre high or let it grow and fill up a large area. And this is the plant for beginner gardeners. When deciding on something new, plant big. The more established the plants are, the better. This is probably one of the most important points. As the tree roots descend into the soil of the new plants, they will need a strong, large root system to hold their own. Growth rates are slower in this situation, and plants tend to stay the similar size they're planted for many years. Remember, when it comes to fertilising, we want to look after these understory plants. They've got it hard enough as it is, competing with large tree roots. So we're going to use an organic controlled release fertiliser. It does a couple of things. It improves the soil and it releases gradually, so the plants, as they grow, take it up, and the large trees miss out. They don't need any extra. But if you want to give these plants a boost, look at using Power Feed liquid fertiliser. Mix it up in a watering can and apply it over the foliage, and it's absorbed so quickly. Before you know it, they'll be looking stunning.
When we think about flowering bulbs, often we're obsessed justifiably with the traditional spring flowering feature bulbs, those heroes such as daffodils, tulips and hyacinths. They are amazing, but not necessarily the right bulb for extremely dry conditions. But don't fret, there are other options. Clivias have to be one of the best examples. These plants are just stunning. I love them. They've got this lovely, dark, glossy foliage. It's up and out all year round. And these big, thick, strappy leaves are both luxuriant and architecturally pleasing at the same time. This is one plant that can adapt to gardens in pretty much every Australian city and...
Well, this is a lovely use of recycling pallets here in the veggie garden. 4 pallets, all at right angles, screwed together in the middle here, so you get excellent strength. And then they've just knocked out a few planks, put those on the bottom to create all these individual planters. A few drainage holes, bit of geofabric, in goes your soil, and plant them out. Isn't it fantastic? And I tell you what, folks, these spring onions are certainly liking it.
Now, a mate of mine, Dean's given me a call. He needs a hand because he's got a DIY project to do something that, well, any of us who've got pools or spas need a little bit of help with. You see, if you've got an outdoor shower and you want to wash down after you've been in the pool or spa, you want to be able to do it in privacy. So setting up a privacy screen is the perfect project to do. And I've got the perfect product to do it, the ultimate DIY project. This is White's Screen Up. It's a brilliant privacy screen DIY kit that you can pick up from Bunnings. It's perfect for screening off the pool shower or hiding the rubbish bins stylishly. And it comes with a couple of options. It can be wall-mounted or freestanding. And the first thing you do is set out the dimensions. Mark your post's positions. I'm doing an L shape to give privacy, but not become a major visual point. We're using base plates to support our screen-up posts. These base plates are great for mounting onto existing solid surfaces, such as paving and concrete. You can also use anchor post footings for grassed areas, setting them into quick-set concrete. Now remember, handy tip, whenever you're doing any of these projects, make sure you've got a tape measure, absolutely important to get your dimensions right, and a spirit level so that everything's nice and easy. Remember, measure twice, cut once, you'll never have a problem. Using a masonry drill bit, you drill and secure your base plates with Dynabolts. Screw in your wall mount and then slide on your posts. Next, we'll add our timber slats. Now these are 19mm slats which slide between the spaces provided. We're using 10mm slimline spacers between our slats for extra privacy. With this screen, you have the freedom to choose any colour or type of slat that you prefer. You can get your timber pre-cut at Bunnings, or you can cut them yourself with a circular saw. Now, here's one little tip for you. You can see the slats. Of course, they're timber, and timber needs to be prepared. So make sure you do it before. If you need to sand it, oil it, varnish, or even paint it, do that before you go slotting those slats in, because otherwise, if you've got to do it later on, it can be a little bit fiddly. See, it really is easy. Anyone can do it. And screen up from whites will take you less than a day to set up. But the change will be remembered forever. Wow, how good does this look? What a great little project. And it only takes about a day to put it all together. If you're wondering what these are also from Whites. Now, this is the Whites Garden Up collection. Fantastic range of beautiful planters that you can hang on fences and, of course, on slats just like this. Absolutely brilliant. And if you want to know anything more about this, all you have to do is simply check out this website.
I love chilies. I used to say the hotter the better, till I got knocked off my feet by an incendiary mouth bomb one day. So now I just stick to I love chilies. There are lots of health benefits with chilies you might be surprised to know. They're rich sources of vitamins C and A as well as K, and that's pretty handy to help your blood to clot. Now they're full of fibre, folate, as well as a host of minerals. And you can even use them to lower your blood pressure by using chilies instead of salt to enhance the flavour of your food. Here are just a few of the varieties Swan Valley Nursery delivers to garden centres. Zimbabwe Bird is a very compact, pretty little chilli. The fruits turn from green to orange and then to a bright red when they're mature. Looks great in a pot as well. Habanero Orange is one of the hottest chilies in the world. It matures to a bright golden orange colour and has a distinctively sweet, tropical, fruity flavour. The variety Firecracker is a compact chilli plant that forms clusters of small, bright, multicoloured fruits that always turn red when they're fully ripe. And it's a hottie. Growing chilies is really very easy. They like a full sun position and they certainly enjoy the warm seasons of the year. Stick them in some rich dirt and regularly feed them with a bit of this power feed. Just pour it over the top and also over the soil. Now, here's a tip. When you're harvesting, make sure you wear gloves, because if you touch your eyes, well, undoubtedly it's going to end in tears.
As gardeners, we tend to be a little bit impatient and want things that are going to grow instantly. Fast growing is always the key. Well, I think it's time to step back and choose those plants that are slow growing, like this variegated Tricholaspermum. It will not take over, it looks fantastic in a large pot and does brilliantly in dry area shade. So for more great gardening tips,
today is an exciting day in the garden because it's Veggie Day. And if you know me well, you'd know just how much I love growing my own produce. And if you're new to growing your own veggies, don't worry, I've got a few helpful tricks for you. The first and most important is the aspect. Almost all vegetables love growing in all-day sun. You will also require humus-rich soil for them to grow in. So, if it's a tad sandy or just not up to scratch, you can start by adding aged compost to the soil, as this will help improve the overall texture. Next is a good fertiliser routine, and this is something I swear by in my own garden because it not only helps plants keep producing all season long, they are stronger, healthier and have better resistance to pests. My go-to feed is Troforte M vegetable and herb, and the team at Troforte have put 20 years of research into this. So it contains multiple strains of beneficial soil microbes and fungi which help the plants to absorb more nutrients than they would naturally. It is also a controlled release fertiliser with a full suite of trace elements and up to 60 natural minerals, which are broken down microbially into the soil, making your plants better at absorbing all those nutrients. And as a result, you get nutrient-packed, yummy veggies. A side benefit to using this in gardens where the soil might not be as good, the beneficial microbes in this fertiliser will improve the soil by unlocking nutrients that are already hiding away in your garden. It will also help plants to better access nutrients when they need them the most. Troforte fertilisers are great to use in the garden, especially if you live near a natural water source just like me, because they're environmentally river and reef safe. And the benefit to using fertiliser in the garden, you get healthier plants, so it helps eliminate the need to use herbicides and pesticides. Once applied, make sure to water it in thoroughly, and it can be reapplied every 2 to 3 months. In between, I like to use a liquid feed as a top-up, which keeps the plants producing all season long.
There's a lot of things happening in gardens currently that might be baffling you. Flowers not opening or appearing stunted and deformed. Roses where the petals start falling off almost before the rose is fully opened. And the lack of colour suggests something's not right. And in my garden, I know what the problems are. They're microscopic insects, thrips and mites sucking the goodness out of my favourite flowers, spoiling summer displays. And I don't want to be spraying harmful chemicals all over my garden to try and get control of them. The good news is I don't have to. And this is why, an hour north of Perth, I've travelled to Biological Services, the first commercial insectary to be established in Australia. They started back in 1971, ahead of their time, I'd say, and in 2014, they joined with West Australian insectary Manchill IPM Services, allowing them to offer 16 different biological agents to help control pests such as whitefly, thrips, mites, aphids, fungus gnats, red scale, and even the dreaded cabbage moth. The company has 7 highly skilled experts in the field, trained to provide consultation to the commercial industry on ways to control these pests in crops, avoiding the introduction of chemicals into the environment. Lachlan Chilman is one of those experts, recently developing a commercial system to control whitefly. Lachlan, how did you find yourself in the predatory insect business?
Yeah, I was lucky to study it at university, and I got some work experience in the field in Queensland, and it was just a passion I had to see the way the insects worked. And at that time, it was just the start of growers turning to IPM because the chemicals weren't working very well.
It all sort of starts here, though. This is an insectary. What is this?
So an insectary here is producing a range of insects and mites that we can mass produce for growers to use in horticulture and agriculture. So we have one insectary here in Western Australia and one in South Australia in Loxton. We produce around 22 different types of predators and parasites that we mass produce, and we supply them to growers throughout Australia.
From a consumer's point of view, when you're buying a crop from a grower that's been practicing IPM, what does it mean?
Well, it means that there's definitely going to be a reduction in the chemical residual on the produce, yep. And it's definitely going to mean that the toxicity to the chemical used is going to be much lower. Yeah. So it's a good indicator when people ask me about eating produce, or if I'm in a crop, is that I'm quite happy to eat a crop that's been run IPM, because if the predators that are minute, the size of a pin, are still surviving, yep. It normally gives a really good indication that the produce that the grower's producing is really safe and healthy to eat.
What about the average home gardener? Can they get their hands on these beneficial insects?
Yeah, it certainly is. So we don't supply directly to the public, but we do have a number of garden stores that we work with closely around Australia that home gardeners can place the orders and receive the beneficials from the insectaries here where we produce them. So it's quite easy to do.
This has to be one of the most exciting innovations or initiatives that I've seen in my working career in horticulture. The idea of taking chemicals out of the environment and just bringing the balance back with Mother Nature, doing what she does best, it just makes sense. If you want to do it yourself at home, then just check out this website and you can get started. Well, that's all we've got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, remember, if you've got any questions from today's show, check out our website. You can download fact sheets and also see videos. And if you want to ask a garden question, become a friend on Facebook. We've got our Garden Gurus Live Gardening Club, and it's a brilliant way to get your questions answered and learn a lot as we go as well. I'm Trevor Cochran. I'll look forward to seeing you with all the gang next week for the Garden Gurus.